it's glorifying Lord Chaitanya's glorious activities. So if you have it, if you have a phone, you can Google it. It's called Sachichuta Ashtakam.
Or Gaur Ashtakam.
Or Gaur Ashtakam.
Hare Krishna Our founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. We have His Grace Charudeshna Prabhu and His Grace Balabhadra Prabhu. So let us welcome them. Haribo! 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 And let us eagerly hear from them. I would like to hand over to Charudeshna Prabhu.
Om Krishna Padaya Krishna Krishna Utara Chaitanya Vedanta Swami Itiramani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gurvani Acharya Nirvishesha Srimad Prasachaya Yathataya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
First of all, I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. What a great opportunity we have. Pleasing Lord Chaitanya. Think about it. Pleasing Lord Chaitanya. That's what we're doing. We're here honoring his appearance. And what was that appearance about? It was about making everyone Krishna conscious. Yes, that is so special. And my guru, Srila Prabhupada, gave me an opportunity to do that. And the way that he asked me to do that was distribute his books. So, to celebrate Lord Chaitanya's appearance, the best thing we can do is to encourage others to become Krishna conscious. And the best way to do that is distribute Prabhupada's books. So every opportunity you have to share Srila Prabhupada's books with others, please take that opportunity. Please. And you will please Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Haribol.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaur Vanikacharya Nirvishesha Shundi Ravi Paschati Isthani Panchatatmakam Krishna Bhakti Rupasrupakam Bhaktavataram Bhakta Kyam Namami Bhakti Sattva Namo Mahavrinyaya Krishna Prem Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaur Trisay Namaha. So I'm so honored to be in the presence of Charadeshna Prabhu, who is my mentor. He's the senior most member of our Atlanta community. Currently he's going through some health issues, but even in spite of that, as he mentioned to all of you about book distribution, he still goes out on book distribution. And to see him distribute books takes me back to 1975, I believe. Seeing Charadeshna dressed in his beautiful three-piece suit with his wig, and talking to young people in such a loving way, the way he would look at people, they were just mesmerized. And I was also mesmerized. My first experience of book distribution was actually carrying books for Charadeshna, Vaishasika, Swavas, all these big Sankirtan devotees. I was the book carrier. So one day I said, Charadeshna, can I distribute books? He said, Bala Bhaja, you're a cook, what are you talking about? Because I used to make prasad, take it to the Sankirtan devotees, they would sit down in the airport, take prasad, and I was so happy. But I said, I want to try this. And that was on the day when Atlanta did 3,000 big books in one day. So I begged, I said, can I do books? He said, okay, go ahead and try. So I did like 5 books in like 10 minutes. He said, this boy is good. So by the grace of Charadeshna, I was allowed to become a book distributor. But I wanted to share maybe just 3 real quick points because I want to hear some of the pastimes and the nectar of Lord Chaitanya. I was listening this morning to the pastime of Lord Chaitanya, Keshava Kashmiri. Very nice pastime. And then Gopal Chapa. Nice pastime. Very powerful. But it put me in the meditation about the history of this temple, which I want to share just a little bit. And Charadeshna thanked all of you, and I want to thank all of you as well for maintaining the worship in this temple. But you may not know a little bit about the background. When I joined in 1973, this was the deity, Panchatattva. But what I didn't know, a few years, maybe a couple of years back, I found some photographs. I didn't know that there was another Panchatattva before this one. So I found an article, and Nardi, you didn't know either. I mean, you and I came at the same time. This is Mother Nardi, very... She's my wife. We've been together since 1973. Can't function without her. So right before this Panchatattva was another one. So there's a picture from a magazine article about the old Atlanta temple. And I'm combining all the pictures and articles and all these things into like a history of this temple. So that picture was second. So when I joined, that was my deity. But I didn't have glasses like I have now, and my eyesight was pitiful. So every morning I couldn't see them properly. I could see the little, if you look closely, there are little stones above Lord Chaitanya. All I could see was the flash of the stones. And then when I finally got my glasses, I could see them. I almost fainted. You have to look very, very close. Look at Lord Chaitanya's face. Look at Nityananda's face. Look at all the Panchatattva. So beautiful, so nice. And then, of course, Srila Prabhupada, when he came, was the beginning of the worship of Sri Sri Gaur-Nitai, the deities of our temple. Prior to that, he had named this temple New Panihati. And we didn't know what was Panihati at that time. We went to Panihati in 1976, but we didn't know anything about Panihati. Balavantu wanted to be named something like New Gokula, New this and that. Prabhupada said, no, New Panihati. So what is that New Panihati? It's a place of mercy. What is this Panihati? Place of mercy. Nothing but mercy. So Lord Chaitanya, when Srila Prabhupada came here in 1975 and he spoke about Lord Chaitanya, looking at this Gaur-Nitai deity, we didn't have Radha Krishna, we didn't have Jagannath, just Gaur-Nitai. And Srila Prabhupada was speaking. If you listen to the lecture, you may not be able to contain yourself. Because Srila Prabhupada cries in that lecture. There's a historic nature to this temple. What Srila Prabhupada did in this temple, he didn't do pretty much in any other place. I have never seen a picture of Prabhupada sitting on the Vyasasan playing Madanga. If you find one, let me see.
Wow.
This is the place. That same Vyasasan that he said. He played Madanga, he taught us how to sing Parama Karuna. But when he arrived here, of course we moved here 1974. And I'm going to share something with you about 1974 at the end of this. So we moved in 1974. I was one of the first persons to live in this building because it was not ready. So I had to sleep wherever. So when Prabhupada came, we were not ready for him. The building was just in shambles. In fact, where Prabhupada is now, that's where Gaur-Nitai was. The deities were there on a big, nice stage we made for them. And then we built this altar. So when he arrived, this was just finished. In fact, his Vyasasan was just finished. I know because I was standing on it. To make sure it didn't fall over when he came. Radha Mohan said, stand on that. I said, what? Make sure it doesn't fall. And when Prabhupada drove up in the driveway, I was standing on it. No, Gaur-Nitai. Oh, Radha Mohan. Radha Mohan. He was the head brahmachari. So anyway, when Srila Prabhupada came in the room and he started speaking with his arrival address, he only spoke for maybe 49 seconds, 1 minute, not even a minute and a half. And within that time frame, he meditated on the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it brought him to tears. He said, somehow it went down, I don't know. Can we get closer? He thinks I'm a rock and roll singer or something. So anyway, so when he talked about Lord Chaitanya, he said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's so kind. Krishna, he says, first of all, surrender. Then Prabhupada quoted, Sarva Dhamma, So he reflected, he said, Krishna says, first of all, surrender. He said, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't ask for surrender. He's so kind. He's so kind. And Lord Chaitanya will make an arrangement for people who are looking for shelter. Well, let me do two things real quick. I'm going to tell you about a special event that's coming in 2024. Okay? 2024 is the 50th anniversary of the installation of Sri Sri Gaur-Nitai on Gaur Purnima. So we have to start planning now. And then, and Balavantu just reminded me that the 50th anniversary of the beginning of this temple is coming in 2025. So 2 big events. So today we were doing Harinam just to show you realistically about the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, how he arranges things. So when we arrived downtown, I put the devotees out, it was Makanchor, and I had no idea that Makanchor was coming. He was walking around in his doji. I said, Makanchor, get in the car, let's go. So we went on Harinam. I didn't know he was coming. Parked the car, put all the things there. I went to park the cars. I had to walk back. By the time I came back, I was getting ready for the Harinam, opening up my harmonium, and one young man was walking. And Makanchor caught him and gave him the on-chanting. And I just saw him, and I looked at him, and I said like that, you know. And he waved back at me like that. And he started walking, but he turned around and came back. And he asked, can I talk to this man? Okay. So he sat down, I couldn't even start the kirtan. He sat down, told me his whole life. He's from New York, from the Bronx, and da-da-da-da-da. He almost committed suicide, so many things he told me. But he also explained how he had been looking for God. He went through all these different religions and ended up in the Hindu culture, trying to understand that. So I was explaining to him about, and he's looking at Lord Chaitanya on the On-Chanting book. And I'm explaining about Lord Chaitanya and how he brought this wonderful Sankirtan movement. It was funny because I asked him to chant. He said, before I do that, could you explain what it means? This boy is very intelligent. But the point I'm making is that I had no plan to meet him. Monk Control was not even supposed to be there. This boy's walking around looking for some guidance, which is the last thing we talked about, guiding him. And I explained to him, I said, don't think that you did this. I said, you've been looking for God. God arranged this for you. To meet me, to meet them, and to get this little bit of mercy. So I gave him Bhagavad Gita, and Monk Control gave him a Beyond Birth and Death. So again, it's all about mercy. We're just trying to follow in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the supreme merciful personality. What is that it says in the verse about Lord Chaitanya? He's the most merciful. Yeah, most munificent. And he and Nityananda, the most wonderful incarnations of the Lord. So let us follow in the pathway set by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by all his devotees, all the acharyas. As Chardation said, book distribution means giving mercy. It's like very merciful opportunity. So thank you all very much again for taking care of Sri Sri Gaur for almost 50 years. Mother Nardi is one of the first pujaris around that time. And still the worship is going on. Do you know the first day when we installed them, they were wearing like sannyas clothes. Because we had no outfits. And Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda had kartals in their hands. And they looked like sannyasis. So one year I said, Jack Takamaj, it would be so nice if we can do that one more time. He said, why you want to put him like that? That was a very sad occasion. Sachimata was in pain. Why you want to see him like that? I said, okay. He said, no, this is different. And one last thought, you hear the bell ringing? Okay, Chardeshna told us one year when he gave class. He said, you think that when the curtains close, Lord Chaitanya Krishna, they're not doing anything. He said, no. All their pastimes are going on back there. Radha Krishna pastimes are going on back there. Gaunitai pastimes are going on there in Jagannath. So how fortunate we are. So thank you all very much. Please continue in your dedication and worship of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Be very aware and conscious of the fact that these deities are very historic. I don't know of very many temples where Srila Prabhupada cried in public in front of the deities. Atlanta is one of those places. So when you come to this place, realize it is a very sacred, holy place. And you've been blessed to be allowed to come here, along with myself. So thank you very much. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai.
You want to say something?
Yes.
Please come, Mother. Mother, please come.
You give her a guitar, she'll sing a beautiful kirtan.
Very well.
Mother, please come. Oh, you were talking about a fire.
Jai Nardi. Haribol.
Let's give a big hand of.
I just want to thank you all for being so beautiful and so wonderful out there. I've just been, my heart, I've not been here for some years because I've been with my other son and my grandchildren down in South Florida. And I'm with the other son here just for a few days, but I can't believe how much I just started to cry when I came in this morning, you know, just to see how beautiful the temple is and how so many nice things have been made, nice things going on in the painting and just things that are special. And I just have always loved this place more than any place. And I'm so glad that you're all here and that we are all so happy. It's a hard world outside, but not when you chant Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
And especially when you chant Hare Krishna with your friends, the devotees. So I do appreciate every one of you. Jai Shri
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So again, we welcome all of you for our Gaur Purnima celebration, and we will read a few verses from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita for the next few minutes until the darshan opens, and then we will have our very special Gaur Purnima Gaurati. Hare Krishna. So I would like to read the first verse of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Vande Gurun Isha Bhaktan,
Vande Guru Isha Bhaktan,
Isham Ishavatarakan,
Isham Ishavatarakan,
Tat Prakasham Chatat Shaktihi,
Tat Prakasham Chatat Shaktihi,
Krishna Chaitanya Samnakam.
Krishna Chaitanya Samyatam.
Translation by our beloved founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the spiritual masters, the devotees of the Lord, Lord's incarnations, His plenary portions, His energies, and the original primeval Lord Himself, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. And verse number 2. Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Vande Shri Krishna Chaitanya,
Nityanandau Sahoditau,
Nityananda Sahoditau,
Gaudodaye Pushpavantau,
Gauradaye Pushpavantau,
Chitrau Shandau Tamonudau.
Chitrau Shandau Tamonudau.
I offer my respectful obeisances unto Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Shri Nityananda Prabhu, who are like the sun and moon. They have arisen simultaneously on the horizon of Gauda to dissipate the darkness of ignorance and thus wonderfully bestow benediction upon all of us. Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai. So Shri Prabhu, just tell me when to stop. So dear devotees, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Brajendra Nandana Jai, So Lord Krishna came as Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Balaram came as Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come as Charudeshna Prabhu, Balabhadra Prabhu and Naradi Mataji were explaining, to give mercy to all of us. And what is this mercy? In this material world, we are all suffering. In this material world is Dukkhalayam Ashashvatam, as described by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. There is a lot of sorrow in this world. The COVID pandemic is not even over yet, and we have a war between Ukraine and Russia. So many things are going on. In this world, there is always some trouble, some problem. And we don't belong to this world. We belong to God. We belong to the kingdom of God. How to go back to the kingdom of God, that is what Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Shri Nityananda Prabhu have come to teach all of us. So what are the essential teachings of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us that if we do two things, see, if we are given a lot of things, it becomes very confusing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, just do two things. If you do these two things, you will attain perfection of your life. And you will attain the kingdom of God. Would all of you like to know that verse? प्रभु कहे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन
प्रभु कहे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन
निरपराधे नाम लैले पावे प्रेम धन
निरपराधे नाम लैले पावे प्रेम धन.
Did I make a mistake?
No?
So प्रभु कहे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन.
प्रभु कहे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन.
I made a mistake. दुई कर शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण.
दुई कर शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण.
Sorry, I made it. Amarita Prabhu is too humble to correct me. So I made a mistake. So this verse comes in the Madhya Leela of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells the residents of Kulyagram how to attain perfection. Mahaprabhu says again, प्रभु कहे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन.
प्रभु कहे वैष्णव सेवा नाम संकीर्तन.
दुई कर शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण.
दुई कर शीघ्र पावे श्री कृष्ण चरण.
Now I would like to ask from all of you, you can raise your hand and let's try to explain this verse. It's very simple. So प्रभु कहे वैष्णव सेवा. What does this mean? Yes, Krishna? Loudly. What is the meaning of Vaishnava Seva? Who can explain? Serving the devotees. Nama Sankirtan. What is Nam Sankirtan? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Dui kara. Do these two things. Shighra pabe. Shighra means very quickly. You will attain what? Shri Krishna Charan. Yes. So if we do just two things, we serve the devotees and we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Very quickly, we will attain the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. Simple formula, Mahaprabhu. So we all know Nam Sankirtan. We chant our at least 16 rounds on the Japamala every morning. And when we come together like this, we do Harinam Sankirtan. Or there are so many devotees who are going on Harinam Sankirtan. His Grace Balabhadra Prabhu has been going every week. Prabhuji, how many times a week? At least once a week. For so many decades he has been doing. Our Mangalarti Mataji also, she goes every week on Harinam Sankirtan. So many devotees. Our Shambhari Prabhu is organizing such wonderful Rath Yatras and Nam Sankirtan festivals in coming and Alpharetta area. So Nam Sankirtan is going on. We have to chant softly our japa and loudly in Sankirtan, in the association of devotees. So this we must remember. Chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. No qualification, there are no rules and regulations. Anybody can chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Now I would like to focus on the second teaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that? Vaishnava Seva. I would like to give some example from the life of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. How Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu establishes. He is not teaching theoretically. Mahaprabhu Nama Sankirtanarambhe Bhavishyami Shashi Suta. Our Puranic literatures describe that in the future Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will come as the son of Mother Shachi. And why he will come? Nama Sankirtan Arambhe. To inaugurate Nam Sankirtan, which Mahaprabhu did just 500 years ago. He practically demonstrated how to chant the holy name. Now let us see how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu practically demonstrated what is the heart of Vaishnava Seva. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for 24 years of his Leela, he lived in Navadvip, in West Bengal. The next 24 years, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in Sri Jagannath Puri. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela in the first 24 years in Navadvip is divided into three parts. Nimai manifested three features in Navadvip. Number one, Nimai. The child of Shachi Mata who took birth under the neem tree. Nimai Vishwambar, the darling of Navadvip. Second, after studying in the school of Gangadas Pandit. That Nimai became Nimai Pandit, the great scholar Nimai Pandit, as His Grace Balabhadra Prabhu was describing. He defeated Keshav Kashmiri and so many other Digvijay Pandits. No one could stand before him. The greatest Pandit this world has ever seen, Nimai Pandit. Second feature. There's a third feature of Nimai. What is that? Bhavuk Nimai. So there is Nimai, the baby Nimai, there is Nimai Pandit, and there is Bhavuk Nimai. Bhavuk Nimai. Bhavuk means full of spiritual emotions. And Nimai Pandit became Bhavuk Nimai after receiving Diksha from Sri Ishwar Puripal in Gaya. He went to Gaya to perform the Shraddha ceremony of his father. There he met again Sri Ishwar Puri and received Diksha from Ishwar Puri. And after that, Nimai Pandit became Bhavuk Nimai. He became full of spiritual emotions. When he came back, he was not the same Nimai who was very proud, who used to debate and argue and defeat people in arguments. Now, Nimai would go to Ganga Ghat not to catch people and challenge them for a debate. He would go to wash their clothes. He would go to fill water from them at the ghats of Ganga. He would ask them, how can I serve you? He would go to Ganga to offer obeisances to all the devotees. That is Bhavuk Nimai. With his own example, he showed what is the importance of Vaishnava Seva. Bhavuk Nimai. Also, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has two features, two moods, two bhav. What are they? The predominant bhav is Bhakta bhav, which means Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord Krishna, but he has come in the mood of a devotee. That is called Bhakta bhav. He is in the mood of a devotee. He is chanting Hare Krishna. He is doing Harinam Sankirtan. He is sitting in Bhagavatam class of Gadadhar Pandit and listening. That is Bhakta Nimai. That is Bhakta bhav of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But sometimes, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also displayed his Bhagwan bhav. There is Bhakta bhav and there is Bhagwan bhav. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has two features. Bhavuk Nimai has two features. Bhakta bhav and Bhagwan bhav. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in the mood of the Supreme Lord, Bhagwan bhav, he showed how dear the devotees are to him. Now imagine, we work in a company and the CEO of the company, the head of the company, is doing certain things. I'll give you an example. I work in one of the hospitals and the chief medical officer of that hospital, who is at a very high post, many times I saw when he's walking down the corridor of the hospital, if there's a chit of paper or a bandage lying on the ground, he picks it up, takes it to the nearest trash can, throws it and sanitizes his hands. Now there are janitors, there are so many people to do that. But the chief medical officer himself does that. So when he sets that example, would other employees litter in the hospital? No. Because he's setting an example. Because he's showing how important cleanliness is. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a Supreme Lord in his Bhagwan Bhav, he is teaching how to treat the devotees, how to treat the Vaishnavas, to teach us, to emphasize to us how important it is that we should perform Vaishnava Seva. If the Supreme Lord is serving and taking care of the devotees, Poshanam, how important it is for us to respect the devotees. Is that clear? So let us see how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his mood as Bhagwan, in Bhagwan Bhav, is teaching us how to take care of devotees. There was a very poor Brahman who once came to the house of Nimai, when Nimai was a small child. His name was Kanthi Gopal Brahman. Why? Because around his neck, around his kantha, he used to carry a small deity of Laddu Gopal and a Gopal Shaligram Shila. Two deities, Shaligram Shila and Gopal. He would carry around his kanthi in a small cloth bag. He had no other possessions. Completely akinchan, no possessions. Only his Gopal and Shaligram. And he had no fixed residence. He would travel everywhere. Wherever he got a little chapati, roti, he would eat and manage. One day he came to the house of Jagannath Mishra. Jagannath Mishra said, "Oh, Kanthi Gopal Brahman, you have been traveling through forests for such a long time. You have not eaten anything. Please stay in our house and use our kitchen to cook first class rice and sabji and dal for yourself, for your Gopal. You feed your Gopal and then you also take. We want you to eat and be comfortable." So the Brahman said, "Okay." He was a very great devotee. So he stayed in the house of Jagannath Mishra that night. And Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Mata, they cleaned the whole kitchen. They got new earthen pots, new firewood for this Brahman to cook. Because he was so pure, they thought, how can he cook in our vessels? We have to give everything new. So they cleaned the kitchen and asked him, please cook. This Brahman cooked nice rice with ghee, sabji, dal, and then he sat down in front of his Gopal and offered the bhoga. And everyone was in another room. He was sitting alone in that room and he was making his offering. And as he was chanting, Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanya Our Nimai, in his Bhagwan Bhav, he's a small child, but in his Bhagwan Bhav, he comes and he starts eating. So when this Brahman sees, oh, what is going on? This child has come and he has contaminated my offering. Now our Gaur Nitai are being fed by our pujaris. Imagine if a child crawls into the DT room. That will be, no, you cannot do that. Let the Lord eat first, then we will eat the prasad. So this Brahman started screaming, oh, what is this? This child is eating the offering for my Gopal. Immediately Jagannath Mishra, Shachi Mata came and they chastised Nimai. Nimai, what is this? Have we not taught you the etiquette? When Krishna is eating, you should stay away. Let Krishna eat first, then we eat the prasad. Oh Brahman, please cook again. No, Brahman said, it's okay. Maybe today Krishna wants me to fast. I will not eat. No, you must cook. We want you to eat. We want you to eat nicely. Please cook again. We will clean the kitchen. And this time we will take Nimai somewhere else. Jagannath Mishra told Shachi Mata, oh Shachi Devi, please take care of this Nimai. Make sure he doesn't do this again. Shachi Mata said, no problem. I will take him to the neighbor's house. And all us Matajis, my friends, we will sit and we will play with him. We will engage him, keep him busy. And let the Brahman cook. Jagannath Mishra and Vishwarup, the elder brother of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they cleaned the kitchen and they said, please cook again. So very hesitatingly the Brahman said, all right, I don't want to cause any trouble to you, but if you insist, I will cook. Again he started cooking. And Nimai was in a neighbor's house with Shachi Mata and with other friends of Shachi Mata. It's a beautiful society in Navadvip. So this Matajis, they are keeping Nimai on their lap. And they will say, hey Nimai, what is this? You are the son of Jagannath Mishra. He is a high-class Brahman. And that man who has come, the mendicant, we don't even know what his caste is, where he is from, where he is born. And you ate food cooked by him. Oh Nimai, you have lost your caste. They were teasing him. Nimai said, what caste are you talking about? I am not a Brahman. I am a cowherd boy. I am Gopal. I am Gaur Gopal. He said. The ladies did not understand what he is talking about. In this way, they were passing from one lap to the other. All the Matajis, they were passing Nimai, they were playing with him. And by Nimai's Leela Shakti, his pastime potency, all the ladies, they fell asleep. And Nimai escaped from that neighbor's house and came back to his house, where Jagannath Mishra and Vishwarup were sitting outside and they were also snapping. And the Brahman had just finished cooking inside. And he again sat down to make his offering. And he started ringing the bell with his left hand. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanya Jagadhitaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namah. Here is Gaur Govind. That same Govind has come as Nimai. He comes and again started eating. Hi! That Brahman again screamed, what is this? Again he has contaminated my offering. Jagannath Mishra and Vishwarup wake up. Jagannath Mishra picks up a stick. Just like Yashoda Maiya had picked up a stick in Dwapar Yuga. Jagannath Mishra picked up a stick and chased after Nimai. And Nimai was running and Nimai ran into a room. And Vishwarup and the Brahman stopped Jagannath Mishra. No, it is not his fault. He's just a small child. Don't punish him. It is our fault. We slept. Oh Brahman, give us one last chance. Please cook again. Please cook again because we don't want you to sleep hungry. Please cook again. And this time we promise you, we will lock Nimai in a room. Brahman says, no, why don't you understand? This is Krishna's indication. He wants me to fast. Many times I am traveling in the forest, there is nothing to eat, no fruits, no roots, no river, I fast. Today also I will fast. It's okay. No. Vishwarup said, please, Nimai, please, oh Brahman, it is our great fortune that you have come to our house. I will guard Nimai. It is my responsibility. This time it is my responsibility. You please cook again. If you don't cook, we will be very heartbroken. When Vishwarup spoke these sweet words, the Brahman could not refuse. He said, all right, I will cook again. Just to please you, Vishwarup, I will cook again. Again the Brahman cooked. Vishwarup took Nimai in a room and locked the room from inside. And told Nimai, what is this? Let the Brahman offer and let him eat, then we can have his remnants. Don't disturb. In this way, Vishwarup was giving a pravachan to Nimai. And for the first time, while giving a class, the speaker fell asleep. Normally the audience fall asleep when the class is going on. But first time, the speaker of Katha, the speaker of pravachan fell asleep. Vishwarup fell asleep. And Nimai opened the door. And he saw the Brahman is offering for the third time. Namo Brahmana Devaya, Krishnaya, Govindaya, Namo. He opened his eyes and he saw that Nimai was eating with both his hands the rice. This Brahman said, Hi, what are you doing? Again, third time you have contaminated my offering. Nimai told the Brahman, why are you chastising me? Why are you getting angry at me? Oh, old Brahman, I don't understand you. First you invite me to eat, and when I accept your invitation and I am eating, you get angry with me and start screaming. And you want to get me chastised. What is this? And then Nimai showed his form as Gaur Gopal. And that Brahman went into a swoon of ecstasy. He saw that his Gopal has manifested in the form of Gaur Gopal. Instead of having a Sham Sundar, a dark complexion, he has got the complexion of Srimati Radharani. Tapta Kanchana Gaurani. And he is Vrindavaneshwari. Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranami Haripriye. He has got Radha Dyuti. He has got the complexion of Radharani. But he is that same Gopal. Gaur Gopal. Because he is Gauranga. He is Gaur Gopal. And he says that now this is all my Mahaprasad. And my dear Brahman, you can have it. This Brahman started screaming in ecstasy, Gaur Gopal! Gaur Gopal! Gaur Gopal! He took the rice, started eating the rice as Mahaprasad and started smearing that rice all over his body. And hearing his screaming, Jagannath Mishra and Shashi Mata and all the neighbors, they came there. And what did they see? Gaur Gopal had disappeared. His Gopal deity was there, the plate of rice was there, and this Brahman was taking the rice and smearing it all over his body. Jagannath Mishra said, I don't know what has happened to this Brahman. He was so sober. But now it looks like he has become mad. So this is the mercy, my dear friends, that our Nimai is giving to the Vaishnavas, to the devotees, teaching us how important it is to please the Vaishnavas. How much time do you have, Sadhguru Prabhu?
You can go for another 5 minutes.
Another 5 minutes? Okay. So, would you like to hear about Kolabacha Sridhar, or Shuklambar Brahmachari, or Haridas Thakur, or Gangadas Pandit? Quickly pick.
Shuklambar. Another rice pastime.
Another rice pastime? Shuklambar, okay. So, we'll hear about Shuklambar Brahmachari. Shuklambar Brahmachari. Now, see the connection between Gaur Leela and Krishna Leela. You understood this connection? That Gopal came as Gaur Gopal. Now listen to another pastime. The connection between Srimad Bhagavatam and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada taught us that Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is the Parishishta Leela of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is the continuation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam are not different, my dear friends. Srimad Bhagavatam culminates with Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanas Tam Namami Harim Param, and Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita starts from there, Nam Sankirtan. Prabhu ko hai Vaishnav Seva Nama Sankirtan Dui Kara Shigra Pape Shri Krishna Charan. So it is a continuation. In Navadvip there was a very great devotee. His name was Shuklambar Brahmachari. He was a very simple-hearted devotee, and he would day and night chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. What would he do? Day and night chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. He had no other activity. Whenever he felt hungry, he would go once in a day. He would go and do some madhukari. Madhukari means you go to the homes of different devotees, and if they have some extra chapati or little rice, they will give you. And that's all you will eat that day. That is called madhukari. Madhu means honeybee. And what does the honeybee do? It goes to a flower, drinks little honey and goes to the next flower. doesn't stay in one flower for a long time. Similarly, Madhukari, sadhus, they go to one house, take little prasad from there, speak Krishna Katha to them, and they go. So this Shuklambar Brahmachari would beg little rice and he would subsist on that rice, that's all. But he was a great devotee. All the time he would be chanting Harinam. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loved him very much. One day, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called him and he said, Shuklambar, come here. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was manifesting his Mahaprakash Leela that day. For 21 hours, he was sitting on the Simhasan in the deity room of Srivas Thakur. Srivas Thakur had a plate of Shaligram Shila that Srivas Thakur would worship. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went, picked up that plate and kept that plate of Shaligram Shila on his own lap. And Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat on the Simhasan, on the altar of Srivas Thakur. And one by one, he invited all the devotees and he was giving them mercy. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called for Shuklambar Brahmachari. Call Shuklambar Brahmachari. And the devotees went and they called Shuklambar Brahmachari. He was very humble. On his shoulder was a little cloth bag in which he had begged little rice that day. That's all he had. Otherwise, with his mouth, he was always chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that rice, Shuklambar had not eaten yet. He had just received it and he was going to eat it. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Shuklambar and he said, Shuklambar, come here. Shuklambar was trembling in ecstasy that Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is calling me. And Mahaprabhu with his long arms, Ajanulambita Bhujau, he reached into the cloth bag of Shuklambar Brahmachari and he grabbed a handful of rice from Shuklambar's bag and he ate it. And all the devotees were saying, Haribol, Haribol, Haribol. And Shuklambar was mortified. This rice is not meant for you, my lord. Shachimata cooks such beautiful soft rice for you. This rice is old, it is hard, it is shriveled up, it is dry. If you eat it, this rice might cut your gums and your soft mouth. It is so soft. Please don't eat this rice. And Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I have never tasted such delicious rice in my whole life. And he reached again and ate a second handful and a third handful. And he ate all the rice from the bag of Shuklambar Brahmachari. Nimai ate all the rice, teaching us how important it is to please and serve the Vaishnavas. What is the greatness of Vaishnavas? Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says that this Shuklambar Brahmachari in Krishna Lila was Sudama Brahman. That Sudama Brahman who had gone to Dwarka to meet Dwarkadish Krishna, now reincarnated in Gaur Lila as Shuklambar Brahmachari. So why did Mahaprabhu take all his rice this time? Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur explains that previously in Dwapar Yug, when Krishna took one handful of rice from Sudama, when he tried to take second time, Rukmini Devi held the hand of Krishna. Said, oh my lord, please, one is enough. Don't eat more. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in the commentary to this chapter 80th of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, writes why Rukmini Devi stopped Krishna. The external reason is Rukmini Devi says, with one morsel of rice, he has purchased you. Sudama has purchased you. So now I have to serve him. If you eat two morsels, I have nothing to serve Sudama with. Already Sudama has won you. He has purchased you. So don't eat two handfuls. Otherwise I will never be able to repay Sudama. External reason. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Tika, he writes the internal reason. Srila Chakravarti Pad writes that Rukmini, so Krishna had eaten that rice, now it is Krishna's Mahaprasad. Rukmini wanted to eat that rice herself and she wanted to give it to other queens and other maid servants also. So for that reason she said, stop, don't finish it. Leave some Mahaprasad for us also. But now there is no Rukmini to stop Mahaprabhu. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says, now there is no Rukmini to stop Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is in Bhagwan Bhav in Mahaprakash Leela in Srivasangan. And there is no one to stop him. In the previous Yuga he was stopped, although he wanted to eat all of it. But now Krishna is going to fulfill his desire as Gaur Krishna. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to fulfill his desire of eating the whole rice of Shuklambar Brahmachari. And in this way, he ate all the rice of Shuklambar Brahmachari. So this concept of giving pleasure to the devotee, this concept of giving man, giving respect to the devotees, serving the devotees is very important, my dear friends. And our Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada, carried this spirit of Vaishnava Seva. People who were addicted to sinful life, they were practically hippies in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. And Srila Prabhupada would serve them by cooking for them every day. And they did not even know the etiquette that they have to wash their plates. They would just leave it and Srila Prabhupada would wash the plates of the hippies. Because Srila Prabhupada saw them as potential Vaishnavas.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada could see the potential in them. That these devotees can become first class Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So Srila Prabhupada was serving them. Srila Prabhupada brought them to Mayapur. Why did Srila Prabhupada construct Shri Shri Krishna Balram Mandir? Shri Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir? For Vaishnava Seva. So that when his disciples come, they will have a place to stay and do bhajan in the dham. Really, Srila Prabhupada says this. When Srila Prabhupada brought his disciples to Navadvip, the mosquitoes were biting them. The mosquitoes were tormenting the Western devotees. They didn't know what to do. They were not used to these mosquitoes. Srila Prabhupada immediately gave money and said, go and buy mosquito nets. This is a very sweet pastime. Please listen carefully. Srila Prabhupada gave money and immediately said, go and buy mosquito nets. I want all my disciples to have mosquito nets when they sleep at night. All day they are working so hard. Next day Srila Prabhupada asked them, so did you get good rest? We used the mosquito net, Prabhupada, but the mosquitoes still bit us. They still stung us. Prabhupada said, all right, I will take care of it. At night, Srila Prabhupada, with his cane in his hand, he got up from his translations of Srimad Bhagavatam and went to inspect how the devotees were sleeping at night. And what did Srila Prabhupada see? The Western devotees didn't know how to use the mosquito net. They were taking it like a chadar. They had taken the mosquito net like a sheet. The mosquitoes were stinging them through the mosquito net. Srila Prabhupada, in the middle of the night, told the devotees, showed them how to use the mosquito net with his own hands. This is how you open it, this is how you put it, and you sleep inside it, like a tent. Then the mosquitoes will not bother you. And then the devotees, they got good rest. And in the morning, Srila Prabhupada, like a caring father, asked them, so did you get good rest at night? And all the devotees said, Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Srila Prabhupada is teaching us his own example, how important it is to serve the Vaishnavas. So on this Gaur Purnima Tithi, my dear friends, let us take to heart these two principles that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave us. Exclusive shelter, Naam Ashray, exclusive shelter of the holy name. We should try to increase the quality and quantity of our Naam Bhajan, our chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And let us cultivate sweet, loving relationships with devotees. Let us be united and let us serve each other. Let us do Vaishnava Seva. Is that okay? So with this message, I will conclude. Thank you very much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Shachinandan Gaur Hari ki Jai. Gaur Premanand. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai. So we'll take a few minutes to arrange this area. So the devotees who are sitting here from this row, we have to move back to this side because we need a space for the people who sponsored. They need to do arati. Please come to stand. Michael, are you here? Please bring the tables, all the tables. If some devotees can go with Michael and bring the table from outside, leave the tables here to set up. So I'm going to just repeat the names quickly. If I'm mentioning your name, then please come in the front so you can do the arati. We have Bhavisha Deep Narayan and Vallavi Radhika Mataji. You have Sri Ram family, Uttan Vivekan family, Badal Royan family, Vinod Sarman family, Vilas Palikan family, Nalin Nishan and family, Singham Venkata Raman family, Benudhari Prabhu and family, and then we have Rovi Sahanin family, Geeta Mataji, Uttama Radhika Mataji, Krishna Sharan Prabhu, Ritesh Pradhan, Sri Ram Arunachalam, Vishwanath Sarkar and family, Kamalesh family, Abni family, Vaibhav Vallabh Gupta. And then we have disciples of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami. You know who is this? Mahaguna Mataji, Rupa Krishna Prabhu, Vishnath Sarkar, and Dimple Majumdar family. If you are here, please come in the front so we can do the arati. In the meantime, I'll request Adigoda to continue this. He will speak a little bit more about Gauranga Mahaprabhu. We can address it. Hare
Everybody. Nitai Gaur Hari. Namaste Narasimhaya.
के भगवान की महाराज बल्लभ महाराज की जय ओम विष्णुपाद ब्रह्मंस परिव्राज आचार्य शुक्र शतो नितिल्ला परविष्टि divine grace ऐसी भक्तिदास स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद ब्रह्मंस परिव्राज आचार्य शुक्र शतो नितिल्ला परविष्टि भक्तिदास सरस्वती ठाकुर श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय रामचरिदास ठाकुर की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपिश्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय वृंदावन मथुरा धाम की जय मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय गंगा माई यमुना माई की जय भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय श्री श्री राधा मनमोहन जीव की जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय श्री श्री गौरीदाय की जय निताय गोपीमानंदे
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Jai Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Abhyanta Mahosaya ki. So thank you all the devotees to participate in this wonderful festival of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's appearance day. So we'll have prasadam outside. So there is a tuko box. You can take prasadam in your own place and you can eat, or you can also sit down. Outside there is a table chairs are there. You can also sit down and eat. Or we prepare that you all take a box and eat prasadam on your own, in your own place. And we request devotees, please do not eat inside the temple. All the prasadam service is done outside. We also like to thank Iskcon Vivek, Pavishan family, and Ravi Sahani family, Madhur Ryan family, and Om Shri Ram family to support this festival, and they also help with so many other services. So let's give a round of applause for all these devotees. Hari Bol!